Greetings, Top Hat Runner here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to disassemble the inner barrel assembly of your M93R in case you want to install like a new hop-up bucking or inner barrel or whatnot. Did get some requests for this video, and for those of you who've been waiting several months for it, I am very sorry it's taken me so long. Between Christmas and college I just hadn't gotten a chance yet. Okay, what you're going to need for this are some vice grips. Normal pliers will work well too, but I like vice grips because I can adjust how much they open and close. Actually, you know, I recommend vice grips and a pair of these. So, yeah, I'll explain why later. Also, you're going to need something to push the pins out because this gun, you know, uses pins to stay together. I just use a little screw. You're also going to need a hammer for the purpose of pushing out pins. Okay, so once you get to your barrel assembly here, first thing you're going to want to do is push this pin out. It should come out fairly easily. Mine does. Next thing is to pull off the locking block. Also keep track of this little spring that's in there. You don't want to lose any of these parts, of course. Next thing you need to do is push out this pin here. And this is what the vice grips come in handy for, is you can use them as like a little thing to set your parts on to push the pins out without, you know, hammering the pins into your table. And you don't want to use your vice grips to pull these pins out because you might crush them, so just use some normal pliers. Also, see how when I'm pulling on that it starts to come apart? Yeah, you want to be very careful of stuff, so be sure to, stuff like this, so be sure to pinch the parts here so you don't just snap this side off while pulling the pin out. And another thing to keep in mind is there is a little part in here, so be careful of that. You don't want to lose it. Now your inner barrel and hop-up chamber should slide right out of the outer barrel. You're going to need a screwdriver, which I forgot to bring one. Let's see if the one on my multi-tool happens to work. Well, I ain't that lucky. Okay, so I'm going to pull this screw out here. You might want to find a better way to organize your parts so you can remember where they all go instead of just throwing them around on the towel, but I know this gun so well, I can just look at the parts and remember exactly where they go. Now this part actually like clamps on up top here, so you're going to have to pull it out from the bottom. Just kind of lift it up like that. Now there is a pin here, and here you're going to have to push out. Now you want to get a good grip with the pliers, but be sure not to pinch them too hard because these pins are hollow. You don't want to flatten them or anything like that. Next thing you do is this little lip here should slide out like that to get the pins out. Now this part, your inner barrel, should slide off. Now with the upgraded Type 4 barrel I have in here, you can slide it off, you know, take this assembly off the front part of the barrel, but with the stock inner barrel, if you try and slide it off like that, it'll get stuck really bad about halfway through, because mine did once. I actually had to get out a hammer to get it back through. So if you're working with the stock inner barrel, just move it up to about here or so and you'll move it later. This little clamp here, I don't really recommend just pulling it off because, you know, you don't want to keep opening and closing the clamp or it might break, so just slide it forward, it'll come right off. Now here is my camera ran out of batteries, but as I was saying, this next part here is the main part that I actually had trouble with figuring out on my own the first time I disassembled my M93R, and it's how to get the bucking out of here and off the barrel without destroying it. You see, what you're going to have to actually do is twist this metal part around, because there's a little ball in here, a little metal ball that's the hop-up spacer. And when you twist this around, this little cutout in the hop-up adjustment chamber, you're going to get the ball out through there. So find the top of your barrel, put your finger up top, because the ball will spring out and you don't want to lose the little spacer, just roll the barrel until that cutout is up, and you'll see the little spacer there. Just drop that out, don't lose it. Now the hop-up chamber will slide down your barrel and you'll be able to get your bucking off. But anyway, this is the disassembly of your M93R's inner barrel. And if you're working with the stock inner barrel here and you're just switching out buckings, you don't actually have to take this part off your barrel. Otherwise you can slide it right off. And this is, like I said, the upgraded barrel. So yeah, that's your disassembly guide. I'll work on the reassembly guide now and put a link to it in the video description. Alright, take care everyone. Peace.